Good evening, everyone. I'm Justin Betty. Tonight, U.S. gas prices hit new record high levels. And even though the FM Metro is below the national average, many stations are still showing prices up around or above $4 a gallon. Valley News Team's Nishay Taylor explains how some locals are dealing with the pain at the pump.
Gas in the Fargo-Moorhead area has now surpassed $4.
Well, I have a 33-gallon tank, so I was costing me anywhere from $100 to $125.
Many locals are feeling it hit their pockets.
It's a sticker shock. The numbers just keep spinning.
It was $3.89 the last time I checked, and now it's about $4.
And the cost is taking a toll.
With everyone paying bills and everything else going up in prices, I feel like it's a little difficult and hard times right now.
Some are even choosing to downgrade the type of gas they use.
There's times where I have to put in regular gas for my vehicle, and it really does show a difference using regular instead of premium.
And skipping out on opportunities to visit family.
Actually, I wanted to go visit my hometown recently over the weekend just to go visit my family, and I couldn't even visit them. I haven't seen them in like five months. I couldn't because of the gas prices.
But the increased price for gas is just one thing people are learning to live with.
Well, we can't do anything about it. If you want to drive, you have to pay. You just have to limit your runs, do 3-4 errands at one time. That's the easiest thing to do.
In Fargo, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
According to AAA, the average price of gas in North Dakota is about $4.01 a gallon. It's averaging $3.95 in Cass County, $3.98 in Grand Forks County, and generally much higher in the western parts of the state. Well, tomorrow is a first alert weather day as some storms are set to roll in tomorrow night. First alert storm team chief meteorologist Hutch Johnson joined us now with details. Hutch.
Happy Tuesday, Justin, and thank you. Good evening, everyone. Here's a look at our 2 days in a row of first alert weather days. Wednesday and Thursday, both will bring a risk of severe weather, locally heavy rain, and that means there will be a potential impact for flooding. Here's round one that happens Wednesday night into Thursday morning, and we've paused this rainfall accumulation, and we'll call it potential based on the track of where the thunderstorms set up and where they dump the heaviest band of rain. Certainly this indicates that as we go into Thursday morning, heavy rain will develop in the southern valley. We'll have a fair dose as well. You can get an idea of the range of the potential rainfall amounts, over 2 inches for some under the gully washers of storms. That's how much moisture will be in the atmosphere. That's round one. Round two begins as we go into Thursday afternoon and Friday, and it just adds insult to injury here as we'll see some orange colors, and that means some over the 2-day period will have over 3-inch potential rainfall totals. This will impact rivers as we go through the next little bit. Right now we're making some room in the northern valley as we have very, very slow receding waters, but adding moisture to the system just means these traces will likely stay in major flood stage for yet an extended period of time. The Pembina River, also Red River at Drayton, finally getting ready to slide into moderate flood stage from major flood stage. Good news. Expecting a rise in the Oslo, though, back up towards major flood stage. And the Cheyenne River at Harwood is on its way up and will kiss not only major flood stage, but also that near record territory. We're going to keep our eyes on all of this as we look into the Southern Valley. We're still concerned about that Cheyenne River Valley as well. All of these purple gauges here are action points. We'll keep you on top of it. Now, we have hot air coming in. It's also south wind bringing this humid blob of air our way. That combination is stormy, and I'll have the details on the threats here in a minute.
All right, thanks, Hutch. The city of Mayville has declared a state of emergency to repair a breached sidewall to the city's dam. City officials say rapid erosion is causing utility and property damage, threatening at least one home. Now, Mayville city engineer says contractors are placing boulders from local gravel pits into the water, creating a makeshift bridge. They can reach that failed sidewall and at least temporarily fix it.
Long-term plan, whether it's a removal of the dam or replacement of the dam, that's a conversation for once we get this area settled.
According to the city, Highway 18 in Mayville is still open during construction, but all side roads in that immediate area are closed off. New information tonight on a fatal crash in Norman County. Minnesota State Patrol says 22-year-old Cole Andrew Falconer of Halstead died in that crash on Highway 75 southbound when the car rolled over in a ditch near Halstead. Police say another 22-year-old who was in the car, Calvin McKay Reinhardt of Hendrum, now is in a Fargo hospital with life-threatening injuries. The victim in another fatal car crash we told you about last night has now been identified as 19-year-old Sandip Tamang of Fargo. That crash happened yesterday near Highway 10 and 170th Street North. It's between Glendon and Holly. Investigators say Tamang tried to cross Highway 10 after stopping at a stop sign, but was hit by an SUV with 3 people inside. No one in the SUV was hurt, and no charges have been filed in that crash. The man accused of shooting a woman, then leading authorities on a 48-hour manhunt, has now taken a plea deal. Authorities say 36-year-old Futhasa Prathane shot a woman back on April 10th. The victim told police she had an active order for protection out due to previous abuse. 6 children were home at the time. They were not hurt. As part of the deal, 3 charges will be dropped, but the attempted murder charge will remain, likely leading to a sentence of just over 15 years. New developments in the case of a Minnesota woman suspected of murdering her babies. Today, bail was set at $1.5 million for Jennifer Matter. Investigators arrested her this week for the death of a baby found in a Minnesota lake almost 20 years ago. Investigators say another baby, a girl, found in the Mississippi River near Red Wing back in 1999, is also Matter's. A business at West Acres Mall is asking for your help tonight, identifying a woman it says stole their most expensive wig, one made specifically for folks battling cancer. Happened last night at Merle Norman in West Acres around 6:30. When the store manager says a woman walked in and about 2 minutes later walked out with the wig undetected.
The whole goal and the reason I work here is because I love helping people. And that's all this store has done for me and everybody that's came in here. So literally when she took that, it took the opportunity for us to make somebody feel good about themselves again.
Not only have to pay for school lunches again next year as the federal waiver runs out, you will also have to pay slightly more than in the past. Tonight, the Fargo School Board voted to increase the cost of breakfast and lunch for secondary students by 5 cents each and for adults by 10 cents. Board members are encouraging parents who are worried about the increase to fill out the free and reduced price meal form. New developments in the case of a South Dakota teacher who wrote letters to students refuting their gender identities. Watertown teacher Calvin Hillsland has resigned. The German teacher gave letters to several trans students back on April 25th, trying to open a conversation about their gender identity. Among other things, the letter stated the students were biologically female, even though they identified as male, and that he realizes they may feel differently, but that, quote, feelings are like a mirage, end quote. That incident remains under investigation. Tonight, Fargo is one of the first cities in the country to get an emergency services upgrade for AT&T customers. The upgrade uses GPS rather than cell towers to give a more precise location down about the width of a football field, about 55 yards. The nationwide rollout scheduled to be completed by the end of June. Now to a Valley News Live exclusive. A mother speaking out tonight, frustrated that officials haven't filed formal charges against a former school staff member for an incident involving her 14-year-old son. It's a story first broke back in January when Fargo Public School documents show Ruthie Carlson was fired from her job as Ben Franklin Middle School lunch supervisor due to an inappropriate conduct violation with the student that was captured and posted on social media. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley spoke with the mother, who says she feels like her son is never going to get justice.
Shanita Esau says she remembers the December phone call from Fargo Public School officials like it was yesterday.
He said, Shanita, out of my whole practice, I have never dealt with this in my whole entire life.
Esau says she was told a Snapchat video had come to officials' attention, showing Esau's 14-year-old son in just boxers brushing his teeth next to the school lunch supervisor, Ruthie Carlson, who Esau says was in a t-shirt and no pants.
And saying good morning.
Carlson's termination letter states she originally denied knowing about the Snapchat video, but later admitted the opposite. Carlson was fired in December, and reports were then forwarded to the Fargo Police Department, whose state officers forwarded their findings to the Cass County State's Attorney's Office several weeks ago. However, official charges haven't been filed, something Esau says is making her lose faith in the justice system.
This happened in November, ma'am. This is May. Are you kidding me? If it was a white little girl and a black man, where do you think that this would have went?
Esau says the trauma Carlson has brought to both her 14-year-old son and her family is insurmountable, and worries her son will never be the same.
It doesn't matter, boy or girl. It just doesn't matter.
She says she vows to continue to be a voice for her son and won't stop until the wheels of justice turn in her favor. Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
The Cass County State's Attorney's Office says it has been working with law enforcement on this case and says at this stage of the investigation it is continuing and it would not be appropriate to comment further at this time. We reached out to Carlson for comment multiple times as well, but have not heard.